Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and Friday is officially here. This is going to be a Raid Shadow Legends video. We've got a lot to cover. It's been a crazy last few days with the launch of Call of the Arbiter. I'll show you some polling in terms of how that is doing and being received within the community. And then we've got the summoning event happening this weekend with 2X Ancients. Plarium addressing some bugs, and also going to be adjusting how some sets function in game, which is going to be a big change that lots of players are talking about. And we know when the Sylvan Watchers Faction Wars, the Faction Crypt is going to be going live in game, which means the requirements to get Lydia the Death Siren are going to be going up. So we're going to cover all of this in today's Raid wrap-up video. Let's get into it. Alrighty, so first of all, let's go over the news that we saw Plarium post in their official server for the announcements today, and finally going to be talking about the bug fixes for the advanced gear selling filter. That was kind of a huge disaster, wasn't functioning right, it was selling everybody's artifacts and all of that, but they say it's been fixed in patch 7.10.1 alongside with some other bugs like crashing for Taraji and stuff like that. But I went ahead and put some green boxes around some of the more important stuff I think that's going to be most notable today, and that is artifact sets grant their owner a chance to land a debuff while attacking a target, like the poison debuff from the toxic set, where it's like a chance to place a poison or a chance to proc something with a 4-piece artifact set. Now, sometimes it might actually land more than one debuff per attack. So like you have one attack going in for an ability and you would place 2 poisons from the toxic set. Such sets should land only 1 debuff per attack, regardless of the number of hits or any additional effects the attack applies, and the fix is planned for the next major update. That could be 2 weeks from now, that could be 2 months from now, but it looks like artifact sets are going to be getting adjusted a little bit to function within the game how Plarium intended. Now, they did this before, talking about the Hydra and how they're going to be changing how enemy max HP, destroying, and all that works, and it was a massive tragedy. So hopefully that doesn't end up ruining sets and getting all sorts of crazy. Now, what people in the community are talking about in relation to this is they're worried about things like Mighty Uko procking super well with the stun set. And the reason is you see a champion like Mighty Uko, you've got the AoE A1, great for a stun set, and then you have a multi-hitter AoE A2, so lots of opportunities to place those consistent stuns along with the utility that Uko is going to be bringing in all sorts of different content that you're using Uko in. Now, admittedly, I'm going to have to look into this a little bit deeper. I mean, there's so many thousands of different mechanics and they've been changed so many different times that I kind of lose track of exactly, like with a fine-tooth comb, how things are functioning in game. But I don't know that it's really going to affect a build like a stun Mighty Uko. Go ahead and correct me if I'm wrong and I'll be happy to talk about it in a video. But I thought the way that a stun set works is it only applies to the first attack. So if you have a multi-hitter, like this AoE attacks everybody 2 times, I could swear that I tested it once for a video and it was only ever placing the stun on the first hit and it would never do it on the second hit. Now, if that changed, I'll need to update my train of thought on that, but I don't see how it's going to really be a big deal on the stun set in particular, but I just want you to be aware of the artifact change that Plarium is talking about because some of the sets are going to be getting adjusted pretty soon here. And then Plarium goes on to talk about the live arena, and again, they're just talking about some of the queue times for finding a match. It can be kind of a pain up in the higher tiers of live arena, but as more people kind of climb into those tiers, it will get a little bit better. And then they're talking about remember to do your live arena champion tags, and that will go really far to helping you navigate effectively through your champion catalog. And then this one is a super important one. The Sylvan Watchers Crypt is drawing close. Now, this is huge because it is going to change the requirements for Lydia the Death Siren. So you need to get, if you're close to finishing Faction Wars, you need to get on that and do it soon because it's going to ramp up in July. It is going to require you to also 3-star all of the content in the Sylvan Watchers new faction. As you can see down here, it takes 882 stars to get Lydia the Death Siren. So if you're at like 860, 870. You're really close to finishing Lydia, but you don't have crap for Sylvan Watcher Champions. Make sure you prioritize finishing that before July, because then you will also have to be added in. The star is going to increase. And by some of my quick napkin math, I think it's going to go from 882 to get Lydia to 945 when you add in the 3-star you're going to need for all 21 stages of the Sylvan Watchers. So it's time for us to all start planning our Sylvan Watchers teams. And personally, I think my account is endgame enough that I'll be okay in terms of 3-starring the Sylvan Watchers content, but I will definitely get a dedicated video and some dedicated guidance to helping kind of grade which are the rares that are worth it and which epics to focus on and all of that as we move forward to the Sylvan Watchers. But the unfortunate thing is we don't know what the boss is going to be, and that's like, you usually have to structure your team a lot different based on the boss you're going to be facing. Like if you're in the dwarves and you're facing the red boss, you need a lot of HP because defense isn't going to be very good. Or you have the boss like in the Knight Revenant that does the mirror universe and swaps the buffs and the debuffs and all of that. So it can really change the strategy based on what boss you're going to be going against. So I'll see if I can get some clarification from Plarium in the back end to at least know what the final stage 21 boss is going to be. But I wouldn't hold your breath. They're probably not going to release that information until it goes live. But there's also one more thing. I need to slide this up. Can I not slide this up? Why can't I move this? Let's okay. Okay, I'm fighting with my computer settings here today, but anyway, right here on the bottom, you'll see the upcoming installment of CVC will feature personal rewards. So a lot of clans like to plan for trying a lot harder on the ones that feature personal rewards. So here in a few days on Tuesday after the weekend, we are going to be having a clan versus clan, and it is going to have personal rewards. And also very newsworthy right now in Raid is the Call of the Arbiter animated series that has launched, where we have the cinematic trailer and then also episode 1 of Gaelic. Then on a Thursday, we will get episode 2 featuring Aethel. Now these are going to release every Thursday for the next few weeks, all the way until we get the final episode over here sometime in late July. And I would say, all in all, trying to track the community as best I can is that it was received definitely overall positively as of right now, but there's a general sentiment that it's a little bit too short and there's not enough like backstory put in to why some of the things are happening. Spoiler alert, like, you know, click a timestamp if you don't want things spoiled, because I'm going to talk about episode 1, so I'm going to give you time if you want to pause or skip ahead before I talk about episode 1. But anyway, things like Gaelic turning on his orc brethren and going against his father to save a human, it's something that just kind of happens, and people are like, okay, there's no backstory as to why you know, Gaelic would start feeling this way and want to betray his own people over the life of one human. And things like that weren't really fleshed out because the series is only like 6 minutes long. So maybe if it was closer to like 15 or 20 minutes, they could have dove into some of those things and really explained the backstory of things that are happening a little bit more robust. But as you can see, if we pull up some of the polling, shout out to the 2.3 thousand of you that voted here on the channel. Really appreciate you, but it helps me understand that about 80% of people are viewing it as a positive experience, saying it was either great or decent, and then only about 20% of people saying that they didn't like it or they didn't care to watch it. So it's about an 80-20 ratio in terms of positive versus negative as far as reaction for episode 1 of Call of the Arbiter, which I kind of agree with. I think it's really cool they're doing this. I hope it invites more, or I hope it like increases the tendrils of the Raid community and helps promote the game and bring some new people into the community and increase the player base that we can all interact with. So I think it's all in all going to be a good thing. And you know, I agree with some of the sentiments out there. It would have definitely been nice to have it be a little bit longer, at least closer to like that 10 to 12 minute range. 6 minutes did feel like it went really fast. And then while we're here, why not? You've got your updated Jetney numbers here with 9,000 votes. Love you all, coming in hot to help us track what's going on in the community. But pretty much exactly a 70-30 split on no and yes for going for Jetney. So looks like about 70% of people are choosing as of right now to just kind of skip trying hard for the fragments. And look at that professional level segue into talking about the Jetney fragments going on, because I know 30% of you are going for it and are still interested in finishing it. This weekend, the most important thing is going to be making sure that you get your Champion Chase tournament fragments up for grabs. There's 15 guaranteed, and then there's 5 more. Oh, look, it's if you get first and second. Have they always done it like that? I thought it was just winning the tournament. Have they always... for some reason, I'm blanking on if it's always been first and second for champion fragments or if it's just first and they added this. But I mean, either way, you should get the 5 bonus fragments if you're like top 10, in my opinion. I mean, finishing top 10 in a summon tournament is going to be difficult because there's always some high spenders. So anyway, make sure you get to 2,500 to scoop up your guaranteed, and it does coincide with double ancients. So I know the summoning ones are typically the toughest ones to get. So good luck if you're going to be pulling shards this weekend going for Jetney. I hope you get something to add to your account besides just the fragments. But then for spending your energy, you're going to be having a Fire Night tournament live over the weekend that also double dips with an event in the Dungeon Divers up there. And then tomorrow you're going to have artifact enhancement. So make sure to remember to upgrade some artifacts over the weekend and kind of grind the Fire Night to double dip these 2 different events you need to grind fragments for. Also, the Doom Tower is officially less than 1 week on this rotation, so it's really time to start focusing on clearing the content and finishing the secret rooms and getting as many rewards as possible scooped up in this iteration of the Doom Tower, and we'll get a new one probably around like the end of next week as well. Then for the offers today, is there anything worth talking about this special ancient pack? This is like it's like a 1.0 or so. It's not great for low to medium spenders. The double ancient pack. Double ancient. What's double? Oh, 2x. Oh, it says 2x chance for... I thought it meant like you're getting double the amount of shards, or it's like a double mini mix pack, 101% extra. I was like, this is not... okay, I got it now. But anyway, purchase limit of 3 immediately tells you that it's not that great of an offer. Same thing here. These are just meh. Monthly pack, and these aren't 101%. That's unfortunate. Personal, that looks like one they've done before. Oh, the speed gear. Wait, what? Wait, they're selling rare speed gear for $15. For a high spender who's a new player, the 6-star speed gear would probably be a decent offer for, like I said, a new player who's a high spender. But anybody who's mid-game, end-game, and stuff like that, this would not be an efficient way to spend your raid budget. What do we do here? Like, oh yeah, this is this one. So this one's not that great. Okay, yep, okay. $30 for this is no. Yeah, so unfortunately nothing super hype for 2x ancients today. 13 for 25 is pretty bad, and the pack string is nothing to write. Even the last one is 7 for 5. You do get the gems and stuff, but yeah, unfortunate. I'm not seeing an offer that may warrants a deep dive discussion. And I almost forgot that our Forge Pass number 9 post diving into the Righteous set is live on the site. So I will link to that down below if you want the full like text breakdown. But the too long didn't watch quick recap kind of thing is, you know, I adjusted some of the values on this. It's exactly like the other Forge Passes. They didn't really change anything in a significant way. So it's exactly what you've come to expect. If you've liked the previous Forge Passes and bought them, then this one's probably right for you. If you've hated the previous Forge Passes and didn't want to buy them, then this one's probably a pass for you. There isn't a massive significant change. It's going to be about a 1.5. You can see that my chosen's value comes out to about $30, and the premium one costs $20 to buy. So 1.5 exactly on the value, which means for the people in like the upper middle tier of spending, it's pretty decent. For the people that are high spenders, it's great. And then it's kind of comes down to each individual person, and it can be a little bit of a pass as you get to like the lower mid tier and the lower spenders. If I flop on over to the artifact sets tier list, our first initial grading of the Righteous set is up here. I mean, it is a good filler set that can fit into a lot of different builds, especially for tanky support type champions that want speed and resistance. The thing is, you know, there's no perfect way to grade these because like in a vacuum the Righteous set is pretty strong. It's like a better speed set, but the problem is you can't grind the Righteous set. You can't farm it. You can't like grind the dragon and get a bunch of maneuverability within the set building, because you can only get it in special situations like this revolving around the Forge Pass, which in my opinion drops the value of the set But when we did the tier list like that, people got upset because it doesn't just objectively grade the sets and how good they are. So we adjusted the system to just objectively grade them, and it is what it is. But do keep that in mind, that it's going to be hard to maneuver your builds around the set because you can't acquire it consistently. Also, make sure you are remembering to at least sign in to Raid once a day. Even if you're busy over the weekend or stuff, you're traveling or whatever, at least pop open your phone and sign in really quick, even if you can't play. That way you can get RTAC as soon as possible and complete the RTAC chase, because it is 7 days of signing in, and we will be hitting day 3 tomorrow. So we should get him next week and be able to crank out some dedicated content, trying out some different builds with him and cover that extensively, because he does seem like a champion with some potential for a lot of different accounts out there. So that will do it for me on this one. I appreciate all of you. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your Friday heading into the weekend, and I will see you soon in the next video and all of that good stuff. Remember to subscribe on your way out if you enjoy daily Rage Legends content. I'll see you soon. Peace.